All right. So I actually got paired against Orry Swift, which I think he was number two in this tournament. Number two seed. I think this is a younger picture of him. Yeah. I don't have too much to say about him. I'll probably get myself in trouble if I say anything. A lot of times you get these first impressions from like the very tiny amount of social interaction you get with somebody when you sit down across from them. That can be totally wrong. So I don't really want to say anything about it. But yeah, so Ori Swift, guys, one of the top players in the country. Let's take a look at this game. Oh, I have to actually throw away the. It's gonna want me to delete this one. I go first. I think I don't know where I heard this, but like going first is like around a 20-point advantage. I heard it somewhere. This would have been a great first draw if that's what I had. I went with quad here. Or was it quad or did I play quad? Let me take a picture. I think I played quad, not quad. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I played quad. Let's take a look here. I wrote down quad, but I'm pretty sure I played quad. Yeah, I played quad. I think quad is fine. Let's see what the. Yeah, it wants me to play quad. Um, there was a reason I played quad instead of quad. I'm trying to think of what it was. I actually opened vertically this time, which I don't. I never opened vertically. I think there was a reason I opened vertically in this game as well, but I don't know what that reason is, so I'm not gonna speculate. I'm trying to think, why did I play quad instead of quad? I mean, I think it was because of what I was leaving. DOM. I wanted something that. So against Ori in particular, I wanted to have chances to extend quad, and I think with the O, I was thinking of extending quad to quadrant or squadron, um, or quadrate. I'm pretty good with these extensions, so I that was my way of keeping the board open. So it was a very deliberate decision on my part. And before against these top players, I used to keep the board a little bit less wide open. But I, after talking to ChatGPT about what I was doing against the very strongest players, it was determined that actually no, I'm doing this wrong. I need to keep actually playing in my favorite style, even against the strongest opponents, which is keeping the board wide open. There's more I can say about that, but I don't want to take up too much time just ranting. I want to take a look at this game. But yeah, this is why I'm defending quad, was because it was more of a play style choice and wanting to keep options to extend quad to different things later in the game. Oh, okay. Actually, I didn't play quad. I played quad. My bad. I got confused because I actually did make this play and I made it horizontally. I played quad later in the game. I got confused because of the picture I took on my phone. Yeah, I did think it would be weird for me to open vertically, so yeah, that's not what happened. He plays Toei. Sorry, guys. I don't. I generally don't do second takes, and I don't like do editing for these videos. So just bear with me. Let's see here. Okay, so I actually drew another U after playing Quode, which was kind of neat. And did I play... No, I didn't play Quad here. I played Qua. And I actually thought quite a bit on this move before playing Quad. Let me just briefly look at some of these. Yeah, Dewey looks awful. Like, I guess the thought is I'm 2 chances to bingo to a D, one at column K and one column F. Column K, at least, if it stays open, it would be a decent bingo score. Column F is kind of terrible, even if I do hit it. And column K is almost never staying open if I play Dewey. Umiak, I mean, maybe. Makui. I don't think Makui is good because of the S hook. I don't know what this does. Tell me if you know what AMU does. Like, yeah, some of these moves like have certain strategies that go along with it, but I don't know what AMU does. If you know what AMU does, let me know in the comments section. So, some of you guys may be rated higher than I do, and maybe understand some of this stuff. Quid. Yeah, so I made this play of quad, and the idea here was to extend qua. So if I don't bingo on my next turn, the idea is I want to try to hit something extending qua. And actually this was Orry, he actually did talk to me after the game. We didn't get, yeah, so actually Orry is a little bit friendly. He'll talk to you about he'll do some post-mortem after the game, and I don't always like to do post-mortems because a lot of times I just need more time in between games to just kind of recover from what just happened. But like for the most part, I do try to do at least a little bit of post-mortem with my opponent, but just not a lot. So what happened is we did talk about this play of Qua and some of the plays that were after this. And yeah, let's just go to the next move because this is interesting. But yeah, before I go to the next move though, the idea behind I did spend a good chunk of time, especially this time that you have, especially at the very beginning of the game, you usually don't want to fall behind your opponent on time. But I did spend a little extra time deciding that I really wanted to make this play of Qua because I am opening up a threat to extend it to H15, and there's a few here. The one that I was really gunning for was Quadriga. That was the one that was really in my mind. So there's a new And this is a new, well, actually, it's not new. I thought it was new. And I think there's a few more I could hit. I mean, obviously, Quagmire is another one. So if I draw a G, that a G is what I really want in this draw. But I think there's some other things I could hit here that extend. There's probably quite a few other things. Um, but that was my thought behind quad. It also scores 12. You can see these other plays, they don't score that much. So maybe if I had a play that scored a lot more than 12 and maybe did some other good things to the board. But yeah, I do think this play of Qua was the right one, and I'm glad I spent the extra time coming up with this play. And if you want to criticize anything that any advice I'm giving you or on any specific move, I'm open to for you to put criticism in the comments. I'm probably not gonna engage so much with the comments section. Uh, People that have lots of followers, YouTube followers, they just generally don't read the comments section at all. I'll probably read them, but I'll just decide whether or not to put a like, and I'm not gonna like everything. So if you make a comment and I don't like it, don't be offended. It's just I'm trying to be a little bit more selective on what things I like as far as YouTube comments. And I don't want to engage in like debates. It's something I'm going to try to avoid, debating people, because those can get heated and I don't want that. Let's see. And I'm pretty stubborn. Like I have my own like play style, and no number of Matthew O'Connors are going to convince me to to play more defensively. Um, all right. So here I got myself into some trouble. I felt like I needed to bingo early against Orry, and with this kind of like really strong rack, I was like thinking of re-aimed. I was like re-aimed. I was like, I think that has a chance of being valid, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to. That was one thing I wanted to do in this tournament. Was I wanted to make sure that I didn't chicken out of things as easily as I have in the past. But that can bite you in the butt, because a word like this, which I was actually told from somebody else that was sitting close to me, that re-aimed is actually like an infamous phony that gets played a lot. I don't remember who said it was an infamous common phony, but I think it may have been Orry himself that said it. I'm not sure. And then they said that person said there was also used to exist a list of like the most common phonies, and that was on the list. And I was like, well, maybe I should read that list. And then I quickly corrected myself. No, I don't want to read that list, because then you say to yourself, oh, I've seen that word somewhere. Um, yeah, I think re-aimed, as common of a phony as it might be, I think that would have worked against a lot of opponents, but not Orry Swift. This swiftly came off the board, but I'll put this down. And he gets to make another play. And what he told me after the game, he only told me this rack because apparently he didn't write down his racks on his score sheet. But the play he wanted to make was Virga. He wanted to make this play of Virga, but because he knew my rack, he knew that this play would give me back Quagmire. So he didn't want to make this play, and it was. I think he spent a good amount of time on this play because he really wanted to make this play, but he also knew he couldn't make this play because of Quagmire. So it was a really kind of like a comic situation for him. And he couldn't play any of these. I guess he could have played Vagi, but he couldn't play Vig either. So what did he settle on in this? He settled on Vigs, but obviously he didn't play it forming Quag. So he played Vig over here. So I just played aimed here. The idea is it scores 30 points and also quad. The whole idea behind quad in the first place was to extend qua, and quad takes a number of kind of fun extensions. So I'm scoring well, and I'm keeping options open to extend quad. He plays Scopper. There's no bingo and Tiger. I played Prig. Now you might think that this isn't the best play because I have like higher scoring plays, especially Guide. Probably if I had seen this would have been my play. I just didn't see Guide. But Rebrig, it's two S's, two blanks, and I don't have either of those on my rack. You usually don't want to set up an S spot that for something you don't have, so I don't like this play. So what Prig does is it keeps two E's, an R, and a T. I guess I was betting that I wasn't going to draw the third E after Prig. I'm just going to be drawing 3 tiles. And EERT is actually pretty strong as far as a leave, I think. So let's take a look just to be sure. Yeah, it's 5.7. I mean, there are stronger leaves, obviously, but 6 points on a leave is pretty good. And if I'd played something like this, just to score more points, this scores 9 more points, but this drastically reduces. Well, okay, it doesn't drastically reduce it. The second R doesn't hurt that much. But anyway, Craig does what I usually like to do, and which is kind of surprisingly and boldly opening the board and without fear. That's what I did. And I didn't get punished too much. He did think for a while and settled on the agony. He has to block the spot that I created. I did draw the S. Which was really weird. That I think because I had so much anxiety, I didn't play Tenders for 90. I played it for 76. And I just didn't even see the Scoppers hook until after I had already like made my play. And even though the score is 14 more, I mean, it's obviously the best play. But one thing I did like about this, which is why I didn't even like spend too much time thinking, was I knew I had to draw well and get lucky against Orry Swift, and I really enjoyed having all these juicy floaters for myself after Tenders. So that was what I was thinking, but I just whiffed on playing it for 90. I got lucky that he didn't have a blank or a good way of hooking Scopper himself. So he, I guess, didn't have that great of a rack here. So he's still got a pretty good lead on me though, 219 to 155. So I have my choice of several different plays that score 37. Um, I guess I didn't play moles because I just didn't realize for sure that this was a word. I don't know what it means. A gangster's girlfriend. So that was why I played moles. Plays Aeon. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying before. He felt the need to make a play that maybe didn't score as much in order to block as much as possible, close down the board as much as possible and with his lead. But after mauls, his lead isn't that much because the score's only 192 to 236. And so I think Aeon, depending on what the rest of his rack was, I think there's a good chance that that was actually a mistake on his end because he's just not ahead enough to justify that kind of a play. Here I played Vixen. I think that's fine. Vixen scored 30. I wanted to get rid of both the X and the V. I think this play was correct. It also opened up the board again, which was just a bonus. He plays Fusey for 46, and now he's got a really strong lead again, 60-point lead. So I was in trouble at this point. But I was feeling emboldened by starting out the tournament 2-0, even though I lost the third game. So I don't think Bro Line has any sevens in it. No, it doesn't. And there's no floaters at this point other than the V and the I. What did I play lob here? Okay, I played Jibber, which was kind of weird. This probably isn't the right play. It's all the way down here. I guess, I mean, there's two blanks that are unseen. Maybe that's why it doesn't like Jibber. Tell me why in the comments why Jibber is wrong. I'm not sure I'm seeing exactly the reason why Jibber is wrong here. I think Jibber might be fine. At least if I draw a blank, it gives me another place to place a bingo, which is something I really needed. This is a type of play you'll see at a high level. He makes geode for 34, and he's up 66 now. So he's got a pretty good lead. Played Teflon. Yeah. Fawn and 4 just don't do it because I need to keep that hook alive, because now I'm threatening both bingos on rows 3 and 4, but also most importantly, a bingo on the entire other side of the board, and he can only block one of them at a time. So Teflon is the play here. I think he thought for quite a bit and used up almost all of his time on this next move because he knew that this was the pivotal move of the game, and then just settled on Tet. Or it might have been the next move where he used all of his time. Did I bingo here? Yeah, I did. So actually, he held on this play of crinoids. And I actually wasn't sure if crinoids was valid or not because those oids, it's like impossible to know whether they took the S or not. But I was getting, I didn't see inditer at all. And I was getting low on time, and I knew I wasn't going to win the game unless crinoids was valid. So I went ahead and made the play. I just waited a long time and didn't draw any tiles because like I was just really not sure at all that crinoids was valid. Eventually, he had to make a play though. Crinoids does put me up. I actually scored this for 72, but it only scored 62. So I made a scoring mistake there. He probably should have seen that. He plays Ahi. And I drew the other blank because there was only there was only 8 tiles left when I played in the bag when I played crinoids. And yeah, all of these are probably wrong. I didn't see this one. Recept for 43. Yeah, Recept is the correct play, but I went with Rec. I had no time to really think about what to do. I just went with Rec. I mean, I had like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but that's still like very little time to figure out how to win an end game. But I did know he had this rack of EIHLN. So I knew he couldn't go out. And he does Louis. Which of course loses. And I just played Pood for 18. And I won the game 398 to 371. As you can see, I actually probably only should have won the game 386 to 371. So somewhere along the line, I gave myself 12 points that I shouldn't have had, but I still would have won the game. So it's not really that terrible of a scoring mistake. You know, this game was not recounted. But yeah, I guess overall I feel proud of how I played this game. I made a lot of good decisions. I made a few bad decisions. But the number of good decisions I made in this game added up, and I was able to win a game against an opponent I probably shouldn't have won a game against because he's just such a powerful Scrabble player. So yeah, I'm happy to get my first win against Orry Swift. I was feeling good after this game, as I should have been. There's no reason not to feel good when you're 3-1 to a very important tournament. If you enjoy my content, please like my video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.